If political and poll manipulation were a game, General Zia-ul-Haq was its champion. In 1985, a hand-picked government was installed in the center after non-party-based elections. But Prime Minister Mohammad Khan Junejo challenged Zia-ul-Haq on many occasions and was consequently shown the door in 1988. The Inter-Services Intelligence and Intelligence Bureau carried on the legacy of political maneuvering. The ISI midwifed the Islami Jamhuri Ittihad, known as IJI, at the residence of Ghulam Mustafa Jatoi in 1988.
As a result of the formation of the IJI, which I have never denied, I don't tell lies, I tell the truth, I have played a role. And I have apologized to the nation also for this. I used just simply my influence with some of the political groups and brought them together. Of course, TJISI, because he is fronting for the army. It is not the ISI alone. ISI fronts for the army.
Primary objective of the IJI was to block the PPP from coming into power in 1988, 11 years after the dismissal of Mr. Bhutto's government. Despite these tactics, the PPP emerged as the largest party in the National Assembly. Benazir Bhutto formed her government, but a storm of intrigues was waiting for her. In November 1989, Benazir faced a no-confidence motion. The ISI had reportedly launched an operation, rather romantically called Midnight Jackal, to influence PPP MNAs to support the no-confidence motion against their own Prime Minister.
Midnight Jackals was an operation it was the actual operation that three nights that people were talking about things, and they were caught on audio tapes and videotapes. But before that, to understand Midnight Jackals, you have to understand that there were preparations being made for tabling a vote of no confidence against Mohtarama Benazir Bhutto. And all these people at that time who were planning to bring her government down through a vote of no confidence, this Midnight Jackal was just one part of that whole operation, of that whole lot of steps that were being taken to bring that government down. Midnight Jackal is just one part of it. It happened like this, that there was an ISI det commander in Islamabad, Major Amir, retired, and Brigadier Imtiaz was an ISI in charge of the internal matters in the ISI before Benazir Bhutto Mohtarama became the Prime Minister. So because of his past activities, he had been transferred out of the ISI, and he was then the commandant of the Engineers College in Risalpur.
To get an insight into Operation Midnight Jackal, the Dawn Investigation Cell interviewed two of its main characters, Major Amir and, more importantly, Brigadier Imtiaz. Imtiaz, who always stayed away from the media, has agreed to talk to DawnNews Investigation Cell exclusively. Brigadier Imtiaz, are you a Midnight Jackal?
No, I am not a Midnight Jackal. My life history and my performance in my profession is the testimony that I am the tiger of the day and the tiger of the night.
And Major Amir says he was simply obeying orders of the then DG ISI, Shamsur Rahman Kallu.
When the federal government was facing no confidence in the center, he called me and he asked me, I want to know the suspects within the ranks of the government. Now, this was my discretion how to find out. As a result of those meetings which he held, whatever I gathered the political, I went and I passed it on to him. That was my version before the board in GHQ. I said, going for a meeting and whatever we are talking, this is your political cover. This is your intelligence cover.
Brigadier Imtiaz admits to meeting politicians regularly, but in his personal capacity. He considers filing of a no-confidence motion a legitimate right of the opposition.
My views are this, that the no confidence against any sitting government is very much allowable in the Constitution of Pakistan.
Right.
It's a part of the Constitution. Am I right?
Okay.
And I think I am right. Now the question is, what is the modus operandi of that, bringing in the vote of no confidence against any sitting government? What is wrong and what is right, that is to be seen, right? And unfortunately, in our country, this subject, this provision of the Constitution is being abused, continuously abused.
Major Amir accepts that he kept an eye on the Treasury MNAs, who were expected to support the no confidence motion against the then Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto.
There were some people from Sindh and a few from South Punjab. I don't remember exactly the name now.
Can you name some important politicians who were among those politicians who were likely to, move a no confidence, support a no confidence motion?
There were 3/4 from FATA. There were 3/4 from FATA, and the people went in the no confidence against the government. Similarly, the people went defected from the IJI in favor of government. For example, probably Makhdoom Ahmad Ala Manwar from the southern Punjab. So defection was on both sides.
It was the Intelligence Bureau Chief Masood Sharif who named it Operation Midnight Jackal. He claims to have collected irrefutable evidence against the concerned army officials.
They were caught on videotape and audio tapes. There was something like, I think, about 14 cassettes on that. In that, what they were doing was they were telling the PPP MNAs to part ways with the PPP government, to part ways with Mohtarma Benazir Bhutto, and they were giving them laras of different sorts, money and other favors.
But Brigadier Imtiaz brushes aside Masood Sharif's claim.
I don't call it operation, as I already said. So-called drama of Midnight Jackal was staged. All this activity of the buying of MNAs, etc., was going on, or it was in the press. I was not serving in the ISI, mind it. I was serving in the Pakistan Army, and I was posted at the Salpur.
Masood Sharif insists that the secret archives of the Intelligence Bureau still contain the audio and video evidences against Brigadier Imtiaz and Major Amir.
I give that name to the Operation Midnight Jackals because they were operating like jackals and in the middle of the night. Because they had some of our MNAs. When we came to know that they were going to meet at a certain place, so we put the audio and video equipment together, and while they were doing all the negotiations, we got them on that. So there is solid proof. If anybody says that they were not involved in any activity like this, it's an absolute white lie.
But Operation Midnight Jackal is proof of the political role of the Intelligence Bureau as well.
It is, in fact, the other way around. And I think Masood Sharif must be knowing very well. I don't know it is right or wrong, but I did hear, and perhaps it came into the press as well, that about 90 MNAs were collected from the sports stadium, Rawalpindi. There was some sports event. They were collected from there under the arrangements of the Mr. Masood Sharif and taken in C-1302 to Swat and kept there for a few days and brought back to the National Assembly the day of vote of confidence.
It's not a hidden fact that MNAs were taken to Swat. So, for me to say that wasn't done or anything, there was in fact, it happened. MNAs did go to Swat because in Frontier there was a PPP government. And like I said, the President, the Chief of Army Staff and the Punjab Chief Minister, everybody working against a constitutionally elected government of Pakistan to bring it down. You won't believe it, but in those days in Islamabad, a PPP MNA was not safe from being kidnapped by the Punjab Special Branch and by the Punjab Police. They used to be loitering around Islamabad looking for our MNAs till the time that they were sent to Swat. They used to be walking around like ordinary citizens on Margla Road, elsewhere, like a normal citizen. But then some of them were kidnapped right from on the road. That is why, I just told you, the Punjab Special Branch, other people used to be doing it.
Are you saying that some People's Party MNAs were kidnapped in 1989?
Yes.
By the police officers?
Yes, and then they were made to put up press conferences in which they changed loyalties.